Welcome to the NetWealthNest Podcast, the show that helps everyday people build real financial stability, starting from wherever you are. Whether you're working your way out of debt or just starting to save, we're here to help you grow your net wealth to your first big wealth milestone. Each episode, we break down the mindset shifts, practical tools, and real-life actions that can transform your financial future. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's get to work building your net wealth nest. Welcome to NetWealthNest Podcast. I am your host, Jim LeBoeuf. Thanks for joining us for another episode as we work to help you build financial stability in your life, as well as grow your net wealth. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about future you versus present you. And so when you think about it, every dollar you spend is a choice. It's a choice to either spend it on present you and spend it today, or put it aside for future you to use in some fashion in the future. When you think about how you're spending your money, which one are you serving more? Great example of this is many people rush when a new iPhone comes out. It happens to be September 2025. A new iPhone is just launched, and you see tons of people rush out to get that new iPhone. And those things are not cheap. They are typically $1,000 or more. And so, do they need that phone? It's arguable the upgrades that are happening year in and year out with these different phones. But what would that $1,000 mean to future you if you were able to put it into something that you could invest into it and it would grow over the next 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years? It could mean a lot more than $1,000. And so your present you typically pulls on your heartstrings. The joy in the moment, the vacations, the dining out, upgrades, the social pressure that you have to go through with not only advertisements from companies, but also your friends and family, what you're seeing on social media, that fear of losing out or fear of missing out is really strong on a daily basis. And that leads a lot of people to really focus on present them versus future them. And future you does have needs. Future you could have needs where it could be an emergency fund and just make sure that you have enough where you're not putting yourself in debt if something happens where you need $1,000 or $2,000 now to fix or replace something. It could mean having kids. It could mean saving for a house. It could mean paying kids' education in the future. And of course, what many people anchor to is it typically means retirement as you get over the 60, 65 age range and move into your 70s, 80s, and 90s. And so the key is remembering that compound growth is super, super powerful. And every dollar that you make today that you can use and invest for future you has the potential to grow to $10, $20, even $30 or $40, depending on how long you invest that. And so understanding that you not only have the capability to save present dollars for future you, but you have the capability, depending on how much time you have, to let those dollars actually work themselves and grow is super, super powerful. And so the key is trying to find the balance. And typically what we really anchor to is making yourself a budget for present you. What are your needs? Then what are your wants? And then how are you saving and investing for the future? And the needs are really simple, as we've talked about in the past, your housing, your transportation, food, those types of things. It's where the wants lie. That's where you can create hopefully some margin. And typically, if you ask people and really sit down with them for a few minutes and get them to answer a few deeper questions, most people have a couple of wants, one or two, that are really, really important to them. They could be different things. They could be like going on vacations and traveling. They could be like hanging out with friends and family, maybe going out to eat. They might be into fashion, and so they like to have, on-trend clothing. But what you typically find is many people will spend on the one that's really important to them, but also spend on all the other ones at an unsustainable rate. And that's where we encourage you, like, what's the one thing? So as an example, we'll just use like maybe somebody really likes to travel. They're in their younger 20s. They're currently not married or have kids, and so they really love to travel. And so we recommend like budget for that. Budget that travel now into your current present me budget. But all those other things, like maybe you're not as into fashion or you don't need to go out to eat, once a week or once every other week. like ruthlessly cut that out and move that money into the future you bucket, the savings and the investment bucket. Understanding that you're trading off some of those things of like, hey, I'm going to take trips now because those are really important to me, but the clothing and the going out to eat, not so important. I'm going to trade those off now because I know that all those dollars will grow and be worth more trips for future me. That's what I really want to do. Or if I want to buy a house in the future, whatever that those future goals could be, those dollars that you save now are going to exponentially benefit future you because they're going to be able to just sit there and work and grow over time. And so understanding that there are trade-offs and skipping some of the things that you don't care as much about now will pay dividends in the future. And one of the easiest ways to try to get your mindset and your head in the right space with present you versus future you is to think about future you. And not everybody does that. But if you're younger, like start thinking about what do you want your life to look like when you're 30, you're 40, you're 50? What are you willing to sacrifice now? And so maybe it's, hey, like I want to make sure that I'm in my early to mid 20s now. I'm traveling, I'm doing the thing, but I anticipate that I'm going to find somebody I want to spend my life with, and maybe we're going to have kids. Maybe that's what I want to do. I want to start a family and I'd like to have a house. But in the same part, when we're in the middle ages and the kids are starting to like get in those, ages where we can bring them around and travel, I don't want to stop traveling either. So I know there's a lot of expenses I'm thinking about, like, kids cost money, having a house costs money, and continuing to travel costs money. So really, again, I'm focused on, I like to travel now. I'm going to continue to spend on that. But all this other stuff, I'm really just going to try to put it off to the side, spend as little as I possibly can on all those other things, the dining out, the doing all those things. And I'm really going to try to focus on investing that money long term. So when I do get older, that I have some of that money that I can use. The same thing when you get above that retirement age, the 60, 65, 68 years old, and you're looking at retiring, your active income, meaning the amount of money you're bringing in based off the hours you're working, typically goes down as people start to retire or pull back on how much they're working. That doesn't mean your overall income will go down if you've done a really good job of saving and investing over all of those years. Sometimes that income goes up as people start to tap into their retirement resources. But if you don't, then your active income and your overall income will both drop. And that's what we're trying to avoid is we don't want your overall income to drop, even though you're active, the hours you're trading for very likely will. And so understanding how that future retirement you is going to want to do the same kind of income. Maybe you want to still travel when you're 60 or 65 or 70 years old. Maybe you want to do all those same things. Maybe you envision yourself having a family and you're hoping that family has kids. And so you'll have grandkids and you want to be able to set yourself up to be able to have time with them or do things with them or take them on trips. All of those things need to play into what your future you should look like. And that will help you understand, again, where you want to invest that time, effort, and money into. One exercise that's really good for this is to write a letter from future you to present you. And what people do when they do this is they write that letter as almost like a thank you note. Hey, present you, thank you for doing all the things you did to save money and invest money over time. What that has allowed me to do is, and then they list out all the goals that it has allowed them to do. They're able to travel in old age. They're able to do some cool things. Maybe they're able to buy the dream car that they wanted to buy. Maybe they live in their dream house. Maybe they have a family and grandkids and they're taking their grandkids traveling. All of those things, they just list out all of those. And anytime you're struggling with that, fear of missing out present you, and you're like, oh, this isn't travel, but there's all these things that I really want to spend money on. They pull that letter out or they have it on their computer. They can look at it and they can say, no, because future me has done all these great things and I want to make that come true. And so it helps bring them back. Again, just remembering that how you spend your dollars on a daily basis is serving one person. It's either serving present you or it's serving future you. And understanding and finding the right balance is really, really important. And so what I challenge you today is write down a couple of things that you're currently spending money on for present you that aren't really that important and that you'd rather just stop doing that and give that money to grow and invest and save to future you so that you can do things that are really important to future you. Hope this was helpful today on building your financial stability, your future, and your net wealth. If it is, please make sure you're liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel, or if you're listening to us on the podcast player of your choice, that you're following us, leaving reviews so that we can reach more people. We appreciate any questions that you do give us. That also helps us build content in the future. And so please feel free to interact with us. We respond to all comments. Thank you for joining today. My name's Jim, everybody. Bye. NetWealthNest LLC and Podcast is an educational platform committed to providing resources and information to empower individuals on their financial journey. Please note, we do not provide financial, tax, or investment advice. All financial decisions should be made in consultation with a qualified professional who understands your unique circumstances. Seeking personalized advice is a smart and necessary step before making any major financial commitments. Thanks so much for joining us today. If you found value in this episode, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, NetWealthNest, and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. We read every comment, and they help us improve and guide what topics we dive into next. And hey, if something you heard today resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, a family member, a coworker, your barber, your barista, even a stranger in line. You never know who might need this message. Remember, building net wealth is a journey, but you don't have to do it alone. Stick with us, and together, let's grow your net wealth nest.